Back into Coffee and Chel. Hope everyone's having a great Monday morning, that your weekend was phenomenal for everyone that celebrated Halloween. You've got some kiddos, maybe. Hope your trick-or-treating went well. My little man had, about 15 minutes of fun, and then he said that was enough. It's also Canada, and either it's like summer on Halloween or it's freezing. Unfortunately, this year was the freezing variety, so my little man went as a monster truck from Hot Wheels Let's Race, and I thought that was relevant info to share. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about week two of the Beast Mode event. We're going to talk about what stays in season 2 when we roll over. Maybe potentially done playing ranked until season 2 as well. And then I've got some other questions I want to talk to you guys about to get your info. So week 2 of the Beast Mode event, let's talk about it a little bit. I found myself on Saturday morning when I was going through everything, and I was looking at the new line combos and Bedard and the MSP specifically. I still stand by best event in terms of the format, given what we have going forward, where you can power down and power up your master set player items. Like, phenomenal. Absolutely love it. The only thing that would be better is if you could go back and make old MSPs, but I understand why they don't want to do that. Not fun for the players, but I think I understand why, as a business, why they're doing it. But that being said, I looked at the MSPs, and I'm handling it a lot like the Crosby MSP from the Face-Off event. So when you look at them, it's, well, I guess like the Crosby and the Marquee event. Assume that they'll get a +2 or a +3 overall boost, and if they don't, is the card still viable, right? And if it's not, then it's like, okay, should I make this or not? I stand by that you should try and make as many 81 overall master set player items as you can, because you don't know what line combos are going to come in the future. And at any point, like I said, Lozon, who is not particularly great just because he's kind of slower, and not that he's not a great card powered up. There's just better options, I think. Or even the goaltenders, if they don't fit a specific line combo, things like that. In the future, it might be one of the best ones, right? And at any point, you can power down and power back up, right? Bedard's card specifically, I'm going to do a rankings video of the MSPs, but it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't, because the thing I love about this event is it allows players... I'm doing that thing where I have an idea and I'm talking about it, and then I completely think about another idea while I'm discussing it. One of the issues with NHL 26 when team building is new line combos come out, and a fraction of the community can take advantage of them, right? And it makes everyone's team far different because they're adding in some line combos that had some big players from past events be a viable option. Mikko Rantanen from the face-off event, right, was a good card, but obviously not one of the best ones because of the crazy +6 options that you could do during that event, right? Now he's one of the best because he can actually get a +7 with Barkov and Bedard. So, with that being said, this allows so much flexibility. When I look at the cards, though, I try and picture now, everyone's got like a +6 or a +3 as we're getting towards the end of season 1. And I'm like, okay, they're great right now, but now we're so close to the new season where if new line combos come out and everything resets, then how good are they? Now, Bedard, I think no matter what, with his shot, even if he doesn't have a line combo, let's say he doesn't get any, Chicago doesn't get any. Chicago had a lot this season. One of the most popular ones was the Teravainen, Roenick, and Solani line, right? So, that being said, Bedard with elite quick release, it is the best ability in the game offensively. I've had a lot of people ask about a tier list for abilities. I think I should probably put that together now. I think we have enough data and just like how we've played as to what would be kind of the best abilities. I still think Unstoppable is the best one. I really don't think that it's close because if you utilize it correctly, there is no counter. Like, I guess Warrior might be, but Warrior, again, is not really something that a lot of people activate. So Unstoppable is just runs rampant, right? If you reverse check. So quick release is amazing. The Barkov one is interesting because if you take Barkov and you look at his card without any line combos, not like Unstoppable is amazing, but like not great, right? So it's interesting, right? Because you have to rank them based on the current line combos available, but you're making a master set player item that might not have use once new line combos come out and things like that. But that being said, this event doesn't really matter because you could just power Barkov down, for example. So Barkov's card right now is a slightly better version of Eric Lindros' icon. And, like if you run Lindros Barkov as a combo, both of them have elite unstoppable. Like it's a mess to deal with. And then all the other stuff that comes with it. So Montour is also interesting for anyone that could not get the 85 Montour from the face-off event. I was lucky enough to get it B&D, but him being paired with Coffee is just so good. It's so good. And one of the biggest reasons is because it alleviates that Nashville Predator Canada combo that was so popular. So you could utilize that in a lot of different ways. And then you've got like Sanheim and Makar, for example. Like there's a lot of line combos that it's almost overwhelming at this point. And that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. I think what it is it's making the UI almost unbearable, though. They're going to have to figure out a way to utilize or make the UI run better or a different way to do it. And I feel like that's going to be a feature update in NHL 29. But so yeah, they came up with more line combos. And if you want to know what the defensive ones are, like you're scrolling for a solid 10 seconds. Like it is not quick. And you got to get all the way down. And you can't. The good thing is you can press triangle when you're in that screen. I believe it's triangle, and you can actually go in and change your lineup. That was a nice quality of life, but the line combo screen is just rough now. It's just like the classic NHL Hockey Ultimate Team UI, where it just runs slow. It's not intuitive, and it needs an update. And it just came out, right? So the other big issue. So I was looking for this. The line combos resetting. I was trying to find if they made statements on how drastic it would be, because one of the things that I wanted to look at is there's certain events where line combos are kind of necessary. So the one I think about the most is the fantasy event. So if you have multiple fantasy cards, they put in that salary cap line combo that I don't want to say was overpowered, but it was like 15 million, right? That seems like, because of all the cards being so low in overall, like even if you had the three highest, it's like your average master set player line. 15 million is something that you would need to alleviate when you have like multiple 90s in your lineup, right? So I would assume those line combos stay. So then I went down the rabbit hole. Did they mention how many or what would reset? And I know it was said somewhere. I ChatGPT'd it. I went through the deep dive, and I can't find the reset thing, which now has me like, okay, if they don't reset any line combos, first of all, the list, could you imagine how long that list would be and how long it would take? But I'm just curious as to what is going to reset. I know it was mentioned somewhere. I just can't find the source. And it's just going to make season 2 so interesting, because I don't want to say this, everything depends on season 2, because everything depended on season 2 of the XP path in NHL 25 and nothing really changed. Like it improved, but the player base was the player base, right? Like it still pretty much stayed. Season 2 for this year is very interesting because, like I said, someone brought up in the comment section, and I want to touch on this before we get into the actual comments of the video. And it was along the lines of, you really think, okay, so Canucks says, here, I'll pull it up on stream. Canucks says, casuals don't understand the clear timer. I mean, give people some credit. So what I'm discussing throughout this past little while is line combos resetting. And I can't find it. If you were to load into the game, but again, if you're commenting on these videos, you are not a casual player. Whether you don't play the game a lot, like if you play 3 hours a week, you're still informed. I think a casual player is someone who ignores online, loads into Hut a couple hours a week, and plays the game because that is how they enjoy it. They don't care about who has the best team. They don't care about the meta and all of that. They're just looking to play the game, and that is the majority of the player base. The problem is that you don't realize or know those people because they don't care about online communities and things like that. You load in. Nowhere on the banners, anywhere, it says like new season 1 set rewards November. Like it doesn't say resetting of line combos. So then I went to, like I said, this is what's got me a little like, I hope they just make a actual like comment somewhere. I can't find it anywhere as to where that is mentioned now, and it's got me like I'm sure of it, but again, this is something that I would love some homework being done here. I went through, and on the line combos, it doesn't say anywhere like reset or new list at launch of the game. So I'm talking about if you were to just log into the game, see, look how long it takes to get all the way down to the bottom, right? Like crazy, man. It doesn't say anywhere that it's resetting or changing or anything like that. And that's what I mean by the normal player has no idea. A majority of the player base is not going to know that there is a reset coming for line combos. And I've mentioned this a number of times, even to the developers, that like you run the risk. I saw it in MLB. This was one of the big problems with MLB when they did the seasons format, is that people would grind the game, they would build their team, and then it's resetting. And you've got to now do it all over again. And while that's actually pretty fun for a majority of the player base because it gives you something fresh, like season 2, the content video I do is going to be 4 hours long again, and it's going to feel awesome, overwhelming. There's new icons, captains, rookies, all of that stuff is heroes. And then the event that comes out on top of it, right? Like it's going to be amazing. And then you've got line combos, and if they all reset, everyone's going to be doing their homework trying to find out what are the best ones and all that. Like it's just going to be a very good time. But again, the people that don't care about the meta and they built their team or spent money, a lot of people spend money that don't go online to look up stuff like that. They're going to be like, what the hell is this? I load in and now I'm over the salary cap. Things like that, right? Is the salary cap going to go up? By how much? Are we going to get more AP points just off the rip? Is like the limit going to be raised up? Is Cup Chase going to give out rewards that are reflecting the new higher overalls? Like all of these questions I have for season 2, I'm very curious to see. And it honestly makes it a lot more interesting. Like it does feel like we're getting a relaunch of the game. I think that they have nailed it with the content that is going to come out. But some of the mechanics, like the line combos resetting, is going to be super interesting. Because like I said, my experience with the player base, watching how they react or you guys react when fundamentals of how your team is made is changed, the AP, stuff like that, the AP cost, stuff like that. When that happens, it's very, very negative from the loud minority. And again, you don't hear from the players that don't like that aren't hardcore. But what they'll do is just shut the console off. And they're like, I'm going to play Arc Raiders, right? So super curious to see how that is going to shake out. So next, let's talk about ranked. So the subathon again has made it where my interest overall in playing ranked is just like, I love online is how I enjoy playing the game, but I hit platinum and I'm like, am I going to hit diamond in 3 weeks? Maybe not. And I think that when I do like my big push to try and get up to the higher ranks, like it'll probably happen later on just because it's usually how it goes, right? Like content is still very busy throughout the year. And as it goes along further, the interest in it dies. So then I just focus more on playing the game as opposed to, all the other stuff like YouTube and things like that. So I don't know how much further I'll go. And the bigger issue is that this event that's come out right now, Beast Mode, you want to get as much stuff as possible to churn into tokens. Like you need like at least 30 tokens to really take advantage of the event. 45 would be awesome, but I don't know if you're going to need 3 Master Set player items throughout the entire year, but still, it gives you more flexibility, right? And ranked, I'm just not going to get rewards for that. So, like, I kind of need to do offline stuff right now. I don't have... When I was doing the subathon, I had so much offline time that, like, I so much time playing Cup Chase that I built my team was so sick, there was really nothing I could do. So it was like, okay, I'll just go play ranked because even if I don't get rewards, it's fine. But there has to be a change to ranked. Like, even if it's good or bad or if it fixes everything, I don't see a way that there is not at least a objective path, which I don't think is the fix. I'm going to make this very clear. I think that's a lazy way to do it. I think that's probably the only way to do it. It's a boring way to do it. Just adding in an objective path that says win 30 games like last year. I think that's just lame and boring. However, necessary in the current format. Like I said, I think the best way to do it is there's 2 reward paths. Whether you click triangle or you click square, whatever on the reward screen that brings you to the reward path, there should be a season-long one, and then there should be like competitive. And competitive works exactly how it works right now, so that the best players are rewarded for getting further in the path, right? If you can't get to gold, okay. But then there's another path that goes all season long where every win just gives you a square, right? And I think it would take like 70 wins, or I think to get it. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but for players that are stuck, remember, you're still going to match up with players where you're hard stuck. So it's win one, lose one. That's like 140 games. 140 games for, again, the majority of the player base is a lot in however long the season is, right? So I think that would probably be an interesting way. On top of that, it would allow players that are very good at the game to get double the rewards, right? Like if you're getting the one for just every win, right? On top of it, you're also getting the one for getting further in the path like it is right now. I also want to mention this. I feel like the top end players, the best of the best, are not rewarded enough for the difficulty that is going on. I truthfully believe that. I think that the only way to get those elite jerseys for hitting ultimate or whatever, that should only be for the players that can actually get it via the competitive way. And there should probably be something else that's accessible via that. But there definitely needs to be a change. And I feel like if I grind out ranked, and let's say I get to plat 2, plat 3, hell, even diamond 1, okay, it would take almost all of my time for the next 3 weeks grinding ranked to just improve my skill enough and actually play the game enough to do it, right? And would that not cause more burnout, knowing that season 2 probably has an improved reward structure for ranked, right? Like there has to be. So very curious to see how that plays out, and I just don't know. Like that is one of my biggest questions. What is ranked gonna look like? What do the line combos look like, and how much is resetting? Are they keeping a few? Are they getting rid of them all? Like that's a big question as to what I want to see or how that's gonna play out. Very, very curious. Season 2 is going to be super interesting. How long is the XP path? Like, the length of the season is a very important thing to look at as well. I think 40 days, like, I don't want to. If a season was only 30 days, and let's assume that it's the same length, a lot of the players aren't going to get it, okay, to the very end, which is fine, whatever. But it's also going to mean that every season they drop icons, heroes, captains, whatever. More content, great. But it would then lead to that overwhelming of like, I just earned all these cards, now they're not the best. And it's like, there's a delicate balance of adding too much often where players get the too much, I'm done, right? And I think that it's a delicate balance that you have to try and battle. So let's get through some of the couple of questions this afternoon. Timo says, for the fantasy for the fantasy event that people feel like they are not going up and etc. I talked about this in the last episode. It feels like the fantasy cards are just not going up. Just a reminder that we had the event 1 month prior to we normally have the event. About the same day last year, end of October, start of November, more than half of the fantasy cards were under 80 overall. Malkin was a 72. This year, we already have 87, 86, 85, 10 games in Chelsea. That's a great point. I love when you guys come up with some logic, and they're just like, let's take a look at it instead of just like, fantasy event sucks and no one's scoring. That's a great point. We did get the event earlier, so we've had the cards longer, so it feels like they're kind of dragging ass. It's a good point, man. I'm very curious to see. Like I mentioned, if you go back every year, we get about 11 to 13 cards that hit 99. Now, there's only 32 this year. Normally, there's like a Euro card, some things like that. Usually, there's about 40. So it's about 25%. So 25% of 32, like 8? Is that 8? It's close to about 8. That's where my guess would be. So I feel like that's what we're going to end up with for sure. For anyone who might not know, Beast Bedard, Beast Barkov, and Face Off Rantanen gives a +7. I'm going to do one of those best line combo videos again, like I did with the Face Off event. I think a lot of people like that. God, we need a resource that just makes it stupid simple to see all of the cards that go. Yeah, I would love that. But yeah, that's a +7. That's one of the best ones. Also want to point out that Solani can get to 99 as well with only 5 being a +5. He gets a 99 speed. Anytime, guys, at any time throughout the year, 99 speed is 99 speed. Like, don't overthink it. That is a line combo that you should never break up. Why isn't there a description of content for the champs packs? Why do I have to go to a deep dive on the dark web to find it? You grind the toughest mode of the game and you have to blindly throw your rewards away with fingers crossed. Has this been brought up to EA? Seems like a fix could take 30 minutes. I think the same problem exists for cup chase packs in sets. It's bad enough that we don't see the odds of getting an 82 plus or a 79 plus like we do in the store, but we can't even see its content period. WTF is a prestige pack. Again, I know someone's done the work or it's hidden in a blog somewhere, but I shouldn't have to do the research to find out. Yet another issue in a long list of quality of life issues with this game. It's seemingly easy to fix, ran over. 100% agree. This is what I was just talking about, the line combo thing. Resetting. I completely agree. It's been brought up, and I don't know why they don't just show it. Something that should happen is if you go to a set that gives you a pack, if you hit triangle on it, it should just show the odds that you do in the store. Like, I don't know why that isn't. Those things are static, so it'd feel like it'd be pretty easy to make an image for it, you know? Sleeves, saw your pic of your tattoo yesterday, looking nice. I wanted to comment on two completely different things related to the game. First of all, thank you, my man. I know that stick checking is being a major issue for all of us, and last week, one of the moment was 5 stick checks. It took me almost a dozen tries to get it, and one of my last attempts, I know I got more than 5, but it wasn't registering. So I started going in and rewatching in slow-mo what was happening. Nearly every time when I went for a poke check, it had my player poking the CPU stick and not the puck, meaning it isn't registering as a poke check since they're not poking the puck, in a way, they're poking the stick. These are also the times where the CPU would almost immediately get control of the puck back. I'm not sure if this is a glitch or by design, but it sucks. Thank you. This is what's happening. Like, if you go in and watch, guys, the stick checking stat, how it was explained to me in years past by Ben Ross, who's the former gameplay developer, is at 99, when you hit R1 to poke check, it determines the accuracy and the speed, frame by frame, at which they poke check. So at 99, when you hit R1, it will go to where the puck was when you hit R1, which is a major issue as to why when you're playing someone who has far better ping than you, why you feel like you're super delayed when poke checking, because when they hit R1, there's no server delay, right? You know what I mean? Those are the little things that get extrapolated by ping, but completely not related to this example. I love that you found this. Yeah, I will relay this to EA. Because I think that is exactly it. When I look at it, what I was kind of viewing it as is there's like a little ball of like, you can't touch me when around the puck when you poke check. But I think if I were to go back and look, it's hitting the stick and not the puck. Very odd. I don't know what it is, but I completely agree that is what is going on. Second, I've commented this on I'm an older offline player in my 40s, and I've noticed that, also for the stick checking stat, if you're struggling getting with poke checks, do it with a stick lift. Stick lift does it. I've noticed that a large percentage of hardcore players absolutely hate the offline players, and I don't understand why. I have literally zero malice towards online players. I view that if you enjoy playing it that way, it was great, and I and a large chunk of HUT players don't. Why so much hatred and anger from a chunk of online players? Anyways, keep it up, go Hawks. The reason is entitlement and superiority. So is with anything in life, don't want to get too psychological here, but as you become better and better at something, you view players that are not as good as someone who are just like scum, and that's really just bad human logic and personality traits, because the better you are, in my opinion, you should try and want to just help people get better. But a lot of people, that's where they get their confidence from, online players specifically, especially younger guys. I find that in my experience as a guy myself, but when I've run into kids that are like 20 or whatever, this is probably the thing that they're best at. And when they're not great at a lot of other things, they don't have a lot of confidence. They just want to flex that they're good at this, as they should. If you're amazing at a video game, that's a great trait to be good at. It's no different than being elite at cornhole or slow pitch, or I'm trying to think of any other darts. Like, if you're not making money at it, like, then it doesn't matter, right? Like, whatever hobby, you should be proud of. That's sick. Like, you're better than a lot of other people, right? The reason why people look down on, or online players look down on offline, is because they can't understand ego. Like, I don't like this, so why should you like this? Offline play in games is the peak of competitiveness. Anyone that getting top 100 in HUT champs or elite or the best in ranked is the hardest thing to do in this game. There is nothing offline that comes even close, even the Panarin moments, all right? Nothing offline comes close. So people just assume that because you're not, like, they're not working towards offline play, they just all look down on you, that you're garbage at the game and you aren't important. Meanwhile, without the offline players, the online players don't have a game to play, right? So it's just an ego thing. That's all it is, man. They don't have a lot of people that go out of their way to let other people know that you're bad at a game. I don't mean like trash talking, because I'm not great at the game, and I love to trash talk with someone else that's trash talking back. I love it, man. Peak Halo, like, just, you know, say it with your chest. Love it. Love a good back and forth. But the dudes that score 9 goals and beat up on someone and that person quits out because they aren't enjoying it and they're like, they want to move on with their life, and then you have to further message them to let them know that they're garbage of the game. Yeah, if I'm talking to you and that's striking a chord, like hand up, that's you. Oh, that's an ego thing. Yeah, like you don't feel that great about yourself, so you have to hammer home. I bet there's a lot of other things in your life that if you were to take a look at, a lot of people would be able to make fun of you. Like that's just reality of it, right? Like if you have to go out of your way to let someone know without any, someone trying to talk smack first, like, yeah, it's usually you lack confidence, and it is what it is. That's online games in a nutshell. That's going to do it for today's episode of Coffee and Chel. We'll be back tomorrow. We ramp up and finish season 1 as we get closer to the edge of the reset and everything like that. Can't wait. I'll see you guys then. Have a good one.